Alright, so the 13th of September. And so basically what I was trying to drive home in my last video is that, like, this whole thing, it's like a just complete and utter fucking disregard for, like, my life and my well-being and everything. And it's like they're gonna sit there and play all these mind games and, like, accuse me of, like, the worst possible thing, like the worst possible crime you could possibly think of, and that's what you're gonna sit there and fucking accuse me of. But you're gonna accuse me of something of that magnitude without giving me my fucking due process or, like, abiding, like, by the fucking law and shit. And it's, I mean, I honestly don't know how it's gotten to this point, how they've gotten, like, so many people to just play along and go with it. I really don't. I mean, sure, there's been, I don't even have to, I'm not gonna say that, but it's, I don't know how, like, they get people to just go with it, and it's nuts. It's like, there's no way in hell they can have anything, like, fucking linking me to anything. I know this, because I didn't do any of these things, so, like, there is no possible existence of anything like that in the way of, I mean, there's that, and that alone, and I don't know, it's like they sure as fuck don't have anything to prove a case, because I don't know, I don't know, it's pretty, but anyways, trailing off. But what I wanted to get into for this one is, like, a few years back, like, it was kind of there at the beginning when this all started happening. I relapsed, and I started using, amphetamines again. And so I ended up moving back to Grant to live with my mom, because, like, I'm not a functioning addict. I lost my job, and I just fucking wanted to get high and, like, do dope. Like, I'll be honest with you. And that's what it was. That's when it all started. Because I was high all the time. And then, like, so people started being all fucking weird around me. And, like, it wasn't just me being paranoid or whatever and just too high. It wasn't. It never has been. And, like, my mom would just, like, berate me fucking daily, like, psychologically, just tear into me. Just tell me there's nothing good about you, and, like, just fucking go off and off. And, like, she would sit there and just watch nothing but, like, fucking true TV, like, fucking murder shows and shit. Like, saying weird shit, like, in a certain tone, and just being, like, real ominous and ambiguous, like, saying shit. And, like, all my friends that I knew, like, either that I used to do dope with, or, like, just other normal friends that I used to have, started being like all condescending and shady and weird and like, and there was always like banging on the walls at night, like outside the trailer, on the door. Yeah. So, and I fucking was like losing my mind, and I was like fucking pleading and begging with my mom, my dad, my sisters, everybody. I'm like, why are you acting like this? Why are you being weird? Why are you like playing with my mind? And they're like, they were exploiting me fucking being addicted to the drugs and like saying, oh, you're just too high, you're imagining these things. But I wasn't, and they were doing all of this. And like I was straight up like fucking in tears at some point. Fucking like pleading, like, why is everybody being this way? Like, fucking stop. And it got to the point where, like, I was on the phone with my dad, right? And I was asking him, I was like, why are people, like, always talking about these fucking things around me and, like, being all weird and this and that? And he's like, well, come over and we'll talk to you and whatever. And I mean, I'm blitzed out of my mind. Like, I'm fucking high, dude. And so, I go over there. And I'm, like, asking him, like, have I ever done anything wrong? Or, like, have I ever... Why is everybody making me lose my mind? And, like, not 5 minutes fucking after I get there, the fucking Cibola County sheriffs show up. Fucking, like, 2 of them. In separate squad cars. And it was, like, the sheriff of the fucking town, I think. No, because it was the sheriff's office. And I'm like, holy shit, why the fuck are the cops here? And I'm, like, freaking out at this point, right? Like, just losing it. And, I asked him, I was like, why are the cops here? What the fuck? And he's like, oh, you're talking about, like, hurting people and doing bad things and all this and that. So I called the cops because you're scaring me. Or something along those lines. And I was like, yeah, because motherfuckers are putting all these ideas in my head, like, subliminally and shit, and, like, being all weird, like, and then trying to fucking play it off as I'm just too high. And, so anyways, the cops there, I sit down, and they're like, your dad says you're talking about maybe you've hurt people and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm not the one who had these thoughts. These were put into my head by fucking everybody around me. I mean, I wasn't that, like, assertive with it, telling him that, because I was scared out of my fucking mind, fucking straight blitzed. And anyways, it got to the point where he just straight up fucking says, he's like, well, you're here with your family, your dad, somebody that loves you, and he's like, are you sure there's nothing that's bringing on these feelings that maybe you feel guilty about, or that's, like, basically saying, like, you're, like, asking me if I feel guilty of anything, if that's why, like, I think I'm losing my mind, and it wasn't. It's fucking, I was losing my mind because everybody was making me lose my mind. And, So he's like, there's nothing that you've been feeling guilty about? Like, straight up asked me that, the sheriff. And I fucking told him no. Like, fucking no. What the fuck? And then he just says, oh, well, okay. Well, okay. Alright then. Okay. And then fucking, like, so they leave. Like, and like, as soon as I say no, like, my dad loses it, his wife fucking loses it, the sheriffs are like, oh, okay. And like, they're just like they were expecting this to be like, it's fucking ridiculous, bro. And I tell them no, like, and I'm there fucking straight terrified, like, in tears. I think I was actually literally fucking crying. And then as soon as I say no, he, like, is like, okay, get up, let's go home. He says, we're gonna take you home and you're gonna go to bed, and don't even bother answering your phone, or don't even bother looking at your phone, they kept telling me. Like, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. And it's... I don't even know. I don't know. But I felt that it was important to get this out here. Just in case anything happens. I don't know. Like, I don't know. There's a small hope that, like, these videos could, like, survive and actually be seen by somebody who's not completely full of shit. And I just feel this needs to be said in, like, in case I may be absent, you know, like, fuck. I don't know. And another thing I wanted to say is, like, everything I do, it's, like, only because I'm trying to fucking survive and live my life. And it's not out of any, like, evil fucking shit, or, like, I'm being accused of, like, a straight fucking atrocity, and, like, I'm just trying to save my life. Like, from the beginning, it's been nothing but this mind game to them, and to me, it's, like, not a fucking game, dude. This is my life.